Hello everyone, today we are going to see 32 important points of oral microbiology. Point number 1. The metabolic acids produced by mutant streptococci demineralize the tooth surface and lead to dental caries. Point number 2. The major karyogenic property of Streptococcus mutans appears to be its ability to produce the enzyme glucosyl transferase. Point number 3. Along with Streptococcus mutans, Streptococcus sanguis, salivarius and lactobacillus species also produce glucosyl transferase. Number 4. Actinomyces viscosus and Naselunde cause root surface caries. Point number 5. Actinobacillus species are gram-negative coccobacillary rots. Point number 6. Properties of Streptococci essential for caries formation are they adhere to tooth surface and colonize. They produce lactic acid which dissolve the enamel of the tooth, and they produce a polymeric substance which causes the acid to remain contact with the tooth. Point number 7. Streptococcus sanguis and Streptococcus mitis produce hydrogen peroxide. Number 8. Streptococcus mutans is aciduric and produces lactic acid. Number 9. Streptococcus salivarius is found consistently in saliva and an oral soft tissue. Number 10. Streptococci are gram-positive cocci that are facultative anaerobes and are the most numerous group of bacteria in the oral cavity. Number 11. The organic constituents of plaque include polysaccharides like dextran, proteins, glycoproteins and lipid material. Point number 12. The inorganic components of plaque are predominantly calcium and phosphorus with trace amounts of other materials including sodium, potassium and fluoride. Number 13. The source of inorganic constituents of supragingival plaque is primarily saliva. Number 14. The dominant WBC noted in the inflammatory infiltrate of ANUG is neutrophil. Now let's study about plaque formation. Point number 15. On day 1 and 2, young plaque consists primarily of cocci. From 2nd day to 4th day, cocci still dominate, but there are increasing number of filamentous forms and slender rods. Gradually the filamentous forms replace many of the cocci. From days 4 to 7, filaments increase in number and a more mixed flora begins to appear with rods, filamentous forms and fusobacteria. Point number 18. From days 7 to 14, vibrios and spirochetes appear and the number of WBC increases. The signs of inflammation begin to appear in gingiva. Point number 19. From days 14 to 21, vibrios and spirochetes are prevalent in older plaque along with filamentous forms. Gingivitis is evident clinically. Number 20. As plaque increases, the number of cocci decreases and the number of rods, filaments and spirochetes gets increases. The number of aerobic bacteria decreases and the number of anaerobic bacteria gets increases, and also the number of gram-positive organisms decreases and the number of gram-negative will increase. Number 21. The bacteria that predominate in mature plaque are anaerobic and asaccharolytic and use amino acids and small peptides as energy sources. Number 22. As plaque matures, there is a shift from a predominance of facultative gram-positive bacteria to gram-negative anaerobic bacteria. Point number 23. In cervical plaque, the tooth associated with gram-positive rods and cocci, and tissue associated with gram-negative rods and cocci, filaments, flagellated rods and spirochetes. Point number 24. In deeper parts of pocket, tooth is associated with gram-negative rods and tissue gets associated with gram-negative rods, cocci, flagellated rods and spirochetes. Point number 25. The apical part of tooth dominated by spirochetes, cocci and rods, whereas in coronal part more filaments are observed. Number 26. Saliva is the source of mineralization for supragingival calicles, whereas the serum translate called GCF furnishes the minerals for subgingival calicles. Point number 27. ANUG is a condition which represents rather pathognomic characteristic of a single disease, clinical signs and symptoms. Point number 28. Important clinical signs are interproximal necrosis and pseudomembrane formation on marginal tissues, history of soreness and bleeding gums caused by eating and brushing. Point number 29. Other signs and symptoms include a fetor oris, a low-grade fever, lymphadenopathy and malaise. Number 30. ANUG most commonly occurs in adults between the ages of 18 to 30. Number 31. Factors which seem to predispose someone to ANUG include a history of gingivitis, tobacco smoking, gross neglect, fatigue and stress. Number 32. The following bacteria are associated with ANUG. They are intermediate sized spirochetes, Prevotella intermedia, Fusobacterium species and Salmonella species. That's it for today's microbiology session. Thank you.